Do you like wasting money at your lawn care or landscaping company? I'm going to venture a guess and probably say no. But the thing is, if you're allocating your marketing dollars the wrong way in the wrong order for pay per click, Google Ads, you could just basically be throwing money out the window. Now, that was just a $1 bill. But could you imagine driving every day to your lawn care and landscaping company and throwing out a 20, then another 20, and then another 20? It's Chad with Landscape Leadership. What I'm going to do today is follow up on our previous video about the biggest problems with Google Ads, aka PPC advertising for your lawn care and landscape company. We're going to talk today about the biggest problem, messed up priorities. Stay tuned. So, is pay-per-click advertising a good idea for your lawn care and landscape company? Well, the answer is kind of tricky. It kind of depends. I've found in my experience working with companies in the past, as well as with all of our clients in the lawn care and landscape industry now, that successful pay-per-click campaigns usually have these three commonalities. The first thing is the service that they're promoting usually has a short sales cycle, meaning I just realized I have an issue and I'm ready to make a decision is a very short time frame. The second criteria is that the service typically has a lower ticket price, meaning I don't really need to deliberate about this for a long period of time because it's not a really expensive item. And then the third thing is there has to be a sense of urgency, meaning that I need to fix this in a very short amount of time or there's going to be a very big problem. So what kind of services in the lawn care and landscape industry are good fits for PPC Google Ads? Well, remember those three criteria. In my experience over the last 20 years, as well as the experiences of our clients, the things that I've seen work really well for PPC ads are chemical lawn care programs. They all have those three criteria. Then when you start looking at mowing services or irrigation maintenance, they also have a good bit of those important items as well. This is where things start to get tricky though, because if you start thinking about getting into landscape maintenance, you get a bigger ticket price. People also have a little bit bigger of a window of when they need to make a decision on that type of service. And then when you start to get into really high stakes, really high ticket items like commercial maintenance, as well as residential design build, people are going to take a longer time to research those. Now, PPC ads could work for those, but you are going to need to have a super advanced follow-up series for your sales and marketing efforts to really make sure you don't waste those marketing dollars. Now again, is pay-per-click a good idea, even in the best case scenario of chemical lawn care programs? Is it a good option for you? And I would say that that really depends on where your priorities are. So let's talk about two of them. So let's talk about priority number one. Before we do that, let me frame it in this manner. These ads in an internet search are kind of like a pickup line. So if I said to you, are you a parking ticket because you got fine written all over you? That might make you laugh, but I need to have something to follow that up with. Meaning that if that's all I got, chances are when they see what's on the other side of that, I might be pretty unimpressive. And so it's really important with priority number one is to make sure something that you own, that you're sending them to, is of a high value. And we're talking about your website. So don't waste your opportunity. If you can get their attention and get them to your website, it better matter. Some of the things that I commonly see are bad websites in general that probably should have been built twice in the last 10 years. We also see people serving up to pay-per-click ads, just sending them to kind of the homepage to leave the visitor decide kind of where they're supposed to go and what kind of information they need, or even a really bad contact page or one of the service pages. You should not be doing that. You should be sending them to a killer landing page that will be great on any type of device, desktop or mobile, and it should be built for conversion. It should be really simple and provoke action, meaning give us some information and we're going to be in contact with you. We'll get into that later in some later videos about some of the elements that would be included with that. but make sure you're making good use of something you own, your website. So that's a big priority. If you got that priority messed up and you're putting tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars into the Google ad pay-per-click machine, and you're not investing in something that you will always own, your website, you got some priorities that are really messed up, and that's going to end up costing you ROI in the long run. Now in our next video, we're going to talk a lot about budgets and how you spend money, but again, it goes back to that. How are you investing money into the long-term strategy for your company? You know, Google ads are great and they can work, but you have to basically be turning the spigot on to get anything that comes out. You're going to have to spend money every single month, and when you shut that off, nothing's coming out the other side. So it goes back again to those priorities in investing in your website. Is it a resource? Is it a tool for local people in your area to really get a lot of questions answered and for them to turn into a highly qualified lead? So the second messed up priority that I commonly see is how companies are not prioritizing their internal processes and the right people to follow up on these leads. You have to remember, pay-per-click leads are extremely impatient. They didn't even have the patience to scroll down the page in a lot of instances. They're clicking as soon as they see something that's even remotely interesting to them. So they're expecting to be able to get in touch with you immediately, for you to answer them if they can't get in touch with you, and to really get them a price as soon as possible. So if you're not going to have a process and staffing and people available to really follow up on these leads, you're going to waste a lot of money. So there you have it. Those are the two priorities that you need to make sure that you have straight before you start dumping tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars into PPC, Google Ads, pay-per-click advertising for your lawn care and landscape company. The first priority, make sure you are investing in something that you own for the long-term strategy and success of your company, your website. Turn it into a lead generation machine, not just for these ads, but for any source that comes there. The second, invest in your people and invest in your processes to make sure that you're getting a great ROI. The last thing you want to do is spend money on clicks and not get business out of it. So I'm going to have some resources for you. In the comments below, there's going to be a link to an article that's going to talk about some of the best things that you can do on your lawn care and landscaping website to turn it into a lead generation machine. And then I want to open some dialogue and some discussion. If you're thinking about the right staffing and selling things over the phone and you have some hesitations to it, talk about why you think this would or wouldn't work and what you think you might have to do. Ask some questions and let's talk about it. This is what you need to do to succeed at pay-per-click advertising. I invite you to subscribe to the channel because the next video we're going to talk about how much money you should be spending both to the agency and also with Google Ads in order to get some business. Thanks a lot. I hope you have a really great day.